In the previous lesson, we spent some time talking about Eisenhower's New Look doctrine, thinking about the ways in which he was attempting to, when he comes into office, balance the distinction and the sort of fundamental contradiction of maintaining a massive military presence around the world to combat communism with the feasibility of being able to maintain such a military for the long term in terms of decades and decades in the future, in terms of the sort of economic impact that that might have. Well, one of the geopolitical ideas that is associated here is this idea known as domino theory. This is the principle that basically tells us that if one country were to fall under communist control, then neighboring countries would follow. And we can sort of link all of these different geopolitical ideas together to justify the ways in which the US policy towards the Soviet Union in the early Cold War actually looked in practice. You have sort of containment, the desire for there to be a world in which communism is contained. And then there is the belief that if communism isn't contained, then there would be a domino effect for countries that fall under the influence of the communist sphere. And so in its earliest formulation, we can see that National Security Council document 64 of February 1950 describes Indochina as a key area of Southeast Asia under immediate threat. The idea of containment and the idea of domino theory most importantly threatened, at least in its early time period, Indochina. You have the sort of growth of China itself and the Communist Party of China. You have the invasion of Korea, and then you have the growing influence of communism in Indochina, in places like Vietnam, in places like Cambodia, and in Laos. So we will see as time goes on that Indochina starts to lose focus throughout the Cold War, and it starts to actually become more prominent in places like Africa, in Angola and Ethiopia, and also in Latin America, in Cuba and Nicaragua. But at least during this early time period, it's Southeast Asia that is most important for the US formulation. And so the nature of the Truman Doctrine that existed prior was concerning this idea of containment of communism. And by 1952, there was a more explicit statement of domino theory. The loss of one Southeast Asian country could lead to the swift submission of the entirety of the Indochina region. This could spread communism into India, it could spread communism into Pakistan, and potentially start pushing communism towards the Middle East, creating a world in which the capitalist states are surrounded by communist threats. And so from 1950 onwards, we can start to see that the US was providing much more financial and material support to aid the French in Indochina in order to try and prevent the dominoes from falling, to try and contain communism in this regard. The US at this time did not commit large combat troops to Vietnam. In places like Vietnam, the sort of commitment of combat troops to Vietnam would start to increase under Kennedy and then massively increase under Lyndon B. Johnson. And then we go into Nixon, and it's only really Gerald Ford that the conflict formally ends. So Eisenhower's formulation of domino theory can be seen by the result of some of the developments in Indochina. The Battle of Dien Bien Phu in March to May 1954, the major ideological inflection point for the development of US foreign policy. The French were decisively defeated by the Viet Minh in May 1954. They actually covertly and secretly transported artillery and military equipment up through the mountains, and basically Dien Bien Phu becomes just a valley in which the North Vietnamese were able to just fire on the French, and they had to be airlifted out at various different stages. It was a major defeat for the French. The Geneva Conference that we're going to look at in the next lesson sought to try and settle the future of Indochina. It ultimately wouldn't, but it made the US concerns in Indochina far more acute. The explicit use of the domino metaphor would be made by Eisenhower himself on the 7th of April 1954, when he gives a press conference in which he explicitly uses the phrase, the domino metaphor itself. He explicitly argues that if Indochina fell into the hands of the communists, the rest of Southeast Asia would follow them. And he said that losing Indochina would lead to the disintegration of the free world influence in Asia. Quote, "You have a row of dominoes set up. You knock over the first one, and what will happen to the last one is certainly that it will go over very quickly. The idea here, making it very clear that the domino theory is now a publicly visible principle of US rhetoric. And so as time goes on, we can see that there is an increase in military aid to the South Vietnamese. The non-communist government of South Vietnam, under the leadership of President Diem, was given more financial aid as well as political support. The US, for her part, believed that this was an essential step to stopping the fall of the dominoes. We can see that the US tried to strengthen anti-communist governments in spaces like Cambodia and in Laos and in Thailand. Domino theory was used in speeches. It was used in congressional testimonies. It was used by various different members of the political class. It was also used to try and justify aid without necessarily committing US combat forces. The combat force idea was that if you don't help now, you'll have to fight it later when the stakes are bigger. So the point of essentially intervening financially and with sort of military support, but not boots on the ground military support, was to try and prevent the spread of communism before it becomes too much of a problem, that then you would then need military support, is essentially the idea that is associated.